Hey everyone! So we're back today. It's Memorial Weekend. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. So we are going to be making a yummy shrimp boil. I love the boiling crab. It's one of my favorite restaurants to go to. But since we can't go, I thought I'd bring the boiling crab to my house. So we're gonna start off with some shrimp. We're gonna have some crawfish. We're gonna have some crab legs. And of course, some sausage. Let's begin. Make the shrimp boil. It's actually very easy. Don't let the ingredients scare you and intimidate you. I know crawfish looks scary and so does crab legs, but I promise you, it's the easiest thing to cook. They only take some of them take about 5 to 8 minutes to cook, and then the crawfish takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And that's it, it's really easy. But let's begin with the dry rub. So we start off with some Old Bay seasoning. I'm gonna be making a lot of seasoning because we're gonna be pouring it on the seafood itself and into the pot that we're gonna boil the seafood in. And also I'm making French fries, and I'm gonna be using the seasoning. We're gonna add some crushed red peppers. The ingredients that I'm using is actually the same ingredients you would have in the whole shebang when you go to the boiling crab. So then we're also gonna add some paprika. Now you can make the seasoning up to your level of heat. We're a family who likes our spice, so I'm pretty generous with it. We're gonna add some cayenne. We're adding lemon pepper. And I'm adding some Cajun seasoning. And some fine ground black pepper. Finally, we're gonna add my favorite seasoning, which is Lawry's garlic salt. As you can see, I'm using my new salt crock from La Creuset. It's my new favorite toy. Old Bay and Cajun seasoning, but overall the same foundation. The adulting at its finest. And we're gonna give this a good mix. I'm sure you noticed these are pretty much the same seasonings I used for most of my dishes. I only added the lemon pepper and the... Okay, my seasoning is all set. I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna grab my shrimp. And I'm gonna pour a little bit of it over my shrimp, and I'm gonna toss it to coat. It's just the tail on, so I'm just gonna make use of what I have. Now, ultimately, you want your shrimp to be, to have the shell on, but what my dad had purchased for me was, okay, so I have my shrimp all set with the dry rub. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I like spice. The shrimp cooks in about like 10 minutes, so, or even less than that, depending on the heat. Okay, I'm gonna add 1.5 lemon, and I'm gonna just let this marinate for a little bit while I do the rest of my cooking. And what you use, but for now I'm just gonna let this marinate so I can prepare my other elements of my meal. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna rough chop our garlic. I'm gonna be using this garlic to cook the seafood, and I'm also gonna use it for my sauce. So I did about 3 heads of garlic, fresh garlic, and we're just gonna give it a good pulse. I want all the flavors out. Just like that. To make the seafood boil, we're gonna first do the first step, which is obviously the boil. So what I have here is a large stock pot with water filled halfway. I'm gonna add minced garlic. I'm saving the fresh garlic for the actual sauce. So this is just to flavor the seafood as it's prepping. So I'm gonna add minced garlic, and I'm gonna add the used lemon rinds that I did for my shrimp, and I'm also gonna juice 2 more lemons right into my stock pot, and I'm gonna just dump the rinds in that too, just like this. And more lemon. And I'm gonna use my seasoning that I've been making, or that I prepped. Just like that. And I'm gonna cover this up and bring it to a boil. We did already prepare our shrimp marinade, and I'm just gonna do the same thing for my crawfish and my my crab legs. So I'm just gonna put everything in a big mixing bowl, and I'm just gonna add all the seasoning on top. But I will be cooking these separately since they do prep at different paces. And I'm gonna add my corn because I'm just gonna put all the seasoning right into it. We're gonna use the same seasoning as we have been. Just gonna use the whole thing, and I'm gonna make some more seasoning for this actual sauce. Give these a good toss. Make sure to not break any of your shellfish, but just toss them gently so that everything is coated. My crab legs are ready, or I'm sorry, my crawfish and my crab legs and corn is all ready. I've already put the dry rub on. So we're gonna first cook the crawfish for about 15 minutes, and from there I'm gonna add the crab legs and the corn and cook them for another 15. As you can see, my water is boiling. So now I'm just gonna add just my crawfish into the pot. You can see I put my crawfish in here. They're gonna take a nice hot bath for about 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna add the crab legs and the corn. While my crawfish is cooking, I'm gonna actually make the whole shebang sauce. Ooh, really hot. So we're gonna start off with melting our butter. My butter is like practically melted. It's so hot in here. So we're gonna start melting our butter. We're gonna use about 4 sticks of butter. I'm melting my butter right now, and I'm actually just gonna dump the garlic, the fresh garlic that I processed in the food processor, right into it, and I'm gonna kind of let this take a hot bath. Ooh, smells so yummy. So my garlic and my butter are meshing well together. You don't want to brown your garlic too much because we're gonna be adding the seasonings, which are gonna elevate all the flavors that you would normally get at the boiling crab if you were to order the whole shebang. The whole shebang is like basically all the different seasonings in one pot, and they call it the whole shebang. Okay, so this is coming together nicely. So give it a few minutes so all the butter will melt. My garlic and my butter is coming along nicely. So I'm gonna add the whole shebang seasoning, the one that we made earlier. I'm gonna bring down the heat just a little bit. And I'm gonna let these all flavors mesh together. And then we're gonna add the last two ingredients at the end. I'm gonna let this simmer for about 5 to 6 minutes. And then I'm gonna, so I had my sauce simmering for just a few minutes, letting all the flavors mesh together. Now I'm gonna add some Louisiana hot sauce. You can add as much or as little as you want. It all depends on how much heat you guys can handle. We're a family who likes our spices, so I'm pretty generous. Now to elevate all the flavors, I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. This helps bring out all the flavors together. And add just a little bit more sugar. My dad hates anything that's sweet, so I usually don't tell him I'm adding sugar in my spicy food, and he never can tell. So don't think that this is gonna be sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna let this just simmer for a little. My sauce is ready, so I'm gonna set this aside, and then once all the seafood is ready, we're gonna pour this into a bag and just mix everything together. My crawfish is about halfway cooked, and I'm just gonna add the crab legs and the corn, and I'm gonna cook these for another 5 to 8 minutes. Be careful to not splash any of the water because it is super hot. Okay, so I've already put in my corn and my my crab legs, and I'm just gonna cover the lid and cook it for another 8 minutes. My crawfish and my crabs and my corn are ready. I'm just gonna prepare the shrimp real quick. I like to do that in a separate pan. What I do is I just add some olive oil, and I'm gonna be sauteing my shrimp. My pan is heated, so I'm just gonna add my shrimp. Be very careful to not burn yourself. Bring down the heat to medium, and just saute these until they're pink. So I'm gonna cook these for about a few minutes on each side, and while my shrimp is cooking, I'm gonna just chop up my Angeline sausage. I had these baking in the oven for about 15 minutes. Still a little hot, but my sausage is ready, and let's take a look at the shrimp. Fantastic, my shrimp is ready too. And now let's bag everything. Everything is all cooked, so the greatest thing about this dish is everything goes in one bag. I'm gonna do 2 bags, so I'm gonna split everything in half. I'm just gonna dump in my hot links. Now I'm gonna add my seafood boil. So we're gonna add some corn. I like to get it for the bottom. And we're gonna do the crab legs and some crawfish. Ooh. Careful not to get any of that water on yourself because it is hot, hot. What I used was big oven bags. I actually used a turkey bag to put in my shrimp oil, my crawfish, my shrimp, my potatoes. Or I'm sorry, I didn't actually add potatoes in this because I did french fries instead. And now we're just gonna add the whole shebang sauce just right into it. Be careful not to burn yourself because it is very, very hot. All the little bits and pieces. Now, make sure I double bagged it, so I would highly recommend you do the same so you don't have a hot mess of a kitchen. And what I do is I tie the first one first bag, and my seafood bag is set, and now I'm just giving it a good shake. Careful not to rip your bag because the crab legs are sharp, as are the crawfish. But give it a good shake, get all the sauces everywhere. We want to submerge everything. We're ready to eat. Give this one more mix. As you can see, we don't have any utensils because this dish is just eaten just like this. Bon appetit.